Peace, everyone. It's Black High Priestess. It's early morning, and I just been enjoying the full moon energy. I've been online, checking out some things, enjoying my downtime before I got a busy work week ahead of me. And there's a couple things I want to respond to, and I hopefully can make this a teachable moment. The first thing I want to talk about is millionaires, and people talking or mentioning millionaires on social media. So this is something that I want my followers who are living and leading a spiritual lifestyle to understand about Facebook and social media in general. Let's put it like this. You know me. You know other people like me. You all know I'm not a millionaire. I know that none of you all who know me and follow me are millionaires. No one who actually subscribes to my channel and my content. It's not that there's agents who don't have this level of wealth watching us and monitoring things. But this is my point. Anytime somebody claims to know a millionaire, to be a millionaire, to know somebody who won $1 million through the lottery, to know someone who makes millions in sales or whatever, they're lying. They are lying to you. If this is someone who you don't know and haven't met in person, they might actually be a bot or artificial intelligence avatar there to put out false information on Facebook and on these platforms. This false information that people believe. They believe that it's possible to know a millionaire when you were born poor, which it's not in this world, unless you sell your soul, unless you compromise. Okay? Millionaires do not go around knowing and collecting poor, impoverished, slave descendant friends. It's not what millionaires do. It's not what wealthy people do. And I'm sorry that a lot of you believe that. But I want you to know right now, and this is what I'm responding to. A sister who was on my page, who I had already been noticing some of her posts were a bit feminist. And so I was starting to detect that feminist spirit that's overtaking American women. And her last post, she boldly stated, some clients take my advice and make millions with it. Others just take it. Implying that, some people can take something, learn from it, and make millions, and other people just take from you. So I asked her to name and list the clients that are now millionaires after taking her advice, after receiving a consultation from her. And I said she can tag them if it's easier. What do you think she did? Do you think she listed her clients? Do you think she tagged them? Do you think she sent me a private message to have a private conversation about who these people were to protect their identities online? No. She did what people on social media do when they are exposed by someone who lives in reality. She blocked me. And this is why I want people to understand. If you are a slave descendant, You're a Black American. You come from poverty. You're working class American. And your parents had to work for white people to make a living. Okay? You're a white American. And your parents had to work. Your father had to get up and go work for another white American who had more than him. Or your father had to get up and work with another American to pay the bills. You're upper class, and your parents had their own businesses, and your parents had wealth, but you still had to go to school and get a college degree, and your parents still had to pay for that schooling. Okay? And they still expect you to go out and get educated. And they expect you to go out and make your own money. Then let me explain something to you. You don't know millionaires. You're not a millionaire, and you probably never will be unless you go mosey on up to the bookstore, buy the book by Anton van der Levy, or 2 or 3 of them that he wrote on how to sell your soul to the devil. Do the blood ritual oath and wait for results. Or you don't have to get blood involved. You can go suck some dick or have some sex and sell your sexual spiritual wealth out to become a sex slave to somebody who has enough money to have a sex ring of sex slaves that they can make famous. You know, so I hope that people understand spiritually. Someone on Facebook who you know, who you're friends with, maybe you haven't met them in person, but they're Facebook friends. They're an average American, and they have a Facebook account. They're not a millionaire. They don't know millionaires. Nobody they know knows millionaires. They are a working class American who maybe has a business, who maybe understands sales, but they have never seen $1 million fluctuate in and out of their life ever, nor has anybody they actually know. And it's, why is that important? Because you got to understand something. When you get up here and you let these particularly Black people who know nothing about wealth by default. Black people are slaves, and Black people are still doing anything necessary to make money in America, including getting their face up on social media, lying about who they know, how much they make, what they have to offer, so you can buy one of their cheap ass classes and learn jack shit from them, because they're out here struggling to make it with absolutely nothing to offer you. Absolutely nothing to offer you. They got convinced to start up a class or start up some business or start up some consultation service when they have nothing to offer, because they are a slave descendant out here trying to make it. They have no money and they have no wealth. And if you are stupid enough to listen to a dumb Negro trying to lie to you about their value by convincing you that they've created millionaires, no millionaires, are friends with millionaires, help somebody make a like, you got to understand, these are the type of people you have to avoid. Nobody with a Facebook account is a millionaire. Nobody with a Facebook account knows a millionaire. Personally. Nobody with a Facebook account has done business with a millionaire or has them as a client. Nobody. Everybody with a Facebook account is being monitored, censored by the government, probably dealing with bureaucracy to prevent them from making money off of their business or brand. But I can guarantee you this without any doubt. Nobody on Facebook knows a millionaire. if they did, they would know enough to know Facebook is for peasants. And if they do, and if they are a millionaire that has Facebook, they're probably being paid and kept to watch you, to make sure you, as a Black American or as a peasant, as a commoner, does not accidentally come up on $1 million through your brand or your intellect or the information that you're offering or the products and services that you're offering. This is the problem with Black people. You think you can talk your way into wealth, and you think you can spiritual Black revolution your way into commerce and business owning, and you can make the Black dollar bounce into, you got to understand something. Black people hate each other. Black people are trying to squeeze the little bit of juice and crumbs that we have to offer each other. And no American on social media is a millionaire or knows one. And you may be, and yeah, there's Donald Trump who's on social media all the time. But why? Does he really still have all that wealth? All I'm saying is a lot of people weren't actually raised around rich, wealthy white people to know how that system operates and groomed by them to know how the system operates. And a lot of you all don't even know anything about occult science to actually understand how these things operate. You got these little agents out here putting these lies out so you can pay for this and pay for that, namely pay for college, and be a debt slave for the rest of your life. So no matter what you do, you'll never be a millionaire. So that's my first topic. Delete or block anybody on Facebook who claims to know a millionaire, be a millionaire, have a client that's a millionaire, to have signed $1 million deal, to have won $1 million. Because let me explain something to you. If they do have that money and they're on Facebook bragging about it, instead of showing you what they're doing with it that can potentially benefit you, another poor Black American who's struggling like they are, then they got that money from selling their soul. And you should block them anyway because they got demons on them. But I'm going to let you know right now, anybody in America talking about $1 million other than jokingly is demonic, has demons on them. If anyone seriously is talking and acting like they got $1 million, know $1 million, friends with a millionaire, this, that, they're demonic. And anybody who has $1 million is demon possessed. All right? The love of money is the root of all evil. And the only reason you would have that much money is if you inherited it and didn't use it to help the rest of the world. All right? It's the only reason you would have that much money without selling your soul, which means you satanic anyway. It means you're not Christian. So read the Bible and read what Christ said about rich people. Read what is in the Bible about rich people. Was being rich, being wealthy, and having things in itself a sin? No. But all throughout the Bible, especially in the New Testament, when Christ came and fulfilled prophecy, listen to the things Christ warned you about rich people and how they're so attached to that privilege that they'll end up in hell because they can't let it go. So that's the first thing I want to address. The second thing I want to address is women and this feminism. See, this sister who posted this, her value in a lot of things she posted too would show that her value was in money, power, and respect. She's lying about her net worth and lying about the worth of her supposed client. So she's up here lying on social media about her net worth, which means she values money, power, and respect. Because that's the only reason you would lie about that. And any woman who has to lie about her worth, who has to lie about her hair texture by wearing weave, has to lie about her body shape by wearing these body shapers that make you suffocate so you can try and look like you're my size and you're not. You know, where any woman who has to lie about anything, she's not living in her worth. If you a thick sister, be a thick sister. That's your value. A lot of men don't value skinny women. I'm a skinny woman, but I value that. I enjoy being skinny. I don't want to be thick or be something I'm not. Yeah, there was times I went through, body insecurity and puberty, this, that. But once I realized this is my body, I'm like, cool. And I didn't have a problem with it or my hair or my skin or tried to change it. So this is the problem. Anytime a woman starts to lie, whether it's through cosmetic or whether she's getting up, lying, trying to create images about her worth, that is a woman who's not feminine. That is a woman who has no feminine value. And that is a woman who probably hates men. A woman who feels that there's more value in being rich and being respected for that and having money. And a woman like that, it's great. But a woman should value her beauty and her femininity. That's what a woman's purpose is. A woman's purpose is not on this earth to be like Adam and out here trying to rule and conquer and to support a man. And any woman who puts so much value into having money instead of being attractive to a man who has money and resources, that's a masculine butch woman who hates men deep down inside. And you got a lot of these black women who are mothers who have had to survive because they probably dealt with a black dude and black men are trash. And they had to raise the babies, the best way they saw fit. But there's a lot of men, there's a lot of brothers who want to be active in their life. And there's a lot of women who don't value femininity. They want to be the head of the household. They want to be the providers. They want to be the lawmakers. They want to say what goes on and how to raise the kids and how we're doing this and how we're doing that. And they end up alone because not because no man wants them. Black men love low class trash women. Black men are bottom feeders. So it's not that no man wants these type of women. Black men are always going to be around to take the trashiest woman on this planet. All right, every woman knows that. Every woman who ain't shit has a black man. All right? It's not that these women are going to be alone and don't no man want them or this or that. But you got to understand, these women have no feminine value. They have no feminine value. So no man who's looking for a woman, a female, is going to want a woman who thinks like a man, behaves like a man, likes to compete with the duties that God gave the man. It's great to be a woman who survives, but surviving has nothing to do with how feminine you are. You could have to survive and still love men. You could have been raped 50 million times. And you could have had to prostitute. You could have been cheated on, been beaten up, but still love men and love the fact that you're a female. You got to understand something about women. A lot of women were born with a natural hatred for their womanhood. They don't like being women. They want to be men. I'm not talking about a tomboy who, a girl who's a tomboy who's in touch with her masculine energy as she's going through puberty. I'm talking about these women. They don't like having a vagina. They don't like having breasts. They don't like having a period. They don't like embracing the feminine traits that make us different from a man and that give us a different responsibility. They want the responsibilities of a man. They don't enjoy being a woman. They don't. They put up with it. But they want the responsibilities of a man. They want to rule. They want to conquer. They want to teach and own and dictate. You see, that's why these women put so much value in how much they make. Because they ain't worth anything to a man. To a man. They want to be valuable to you know, they want to feel valuable in society. But they don't have anything to offer a man who just simply needs a woman. Ladies, be independent, make your money, but stop with the fucking manly ass attitude like you have worth because you have money. That's not a woman's worth. That's not a woman's value. That's not a woman's job. Your job is to survive, to thrive. But as a female, if you're not putting value in your looks, in your feminine energy, meaning your ability to heal, your ability to cook, to clean, to nurture, to create a sacred space, to create beauty for people to come live and reside in, to be that beautiful, nurturing, feminine energy that people get nourishment from. If the only nourishment you as a woman have to give is advice and money, you manly. You're manly. I don't care how gorgeous you look. You act like a man. You think like a man. And that's on a spiritual level. That's not the feminine principle spiritually. That's not the feminine principle. So, ladies, be independent, but don't take pride in how much you make as a woman. It's nothing wrong with taking pride in achieving goals, you know, yeah, but when it comes to principles of masculinity and femininity, ladies, you need to be taking pride in how beautiful you are, how your beauty radiates as a woman. Some people may feel like this is very objectifying to women. That's the problem. If you as a woman you have a problem with being objectified, you have a problem with being appreciated for beauty. We you know, God made women and designed women with arms, with legs, with a brain, with sex organs. Women, we unlike men, we have a clitoris which has no other purpose but pleasure. So God designed us to enjoy our womanhood. Do it, ladies. Like, enjoy being a woman. And if you feel objectified for being beautiful, that's the first indication that you're not feminine. You're not feminine. If you have a problem with just sitting pretty. The problem comes in if you actually don't have intelligence, if you actually don't have a real beauty underneath, if you actually don't have respect for men. That's where the problem comes in. The problem doesn't come in when you're honored and respected just because you have a beautiful feminine energy. Because that beautiful feminine energy is what's going to attract people to want to get to know how you think and how you move and how you dance and how you cook. You know, and how you decorate. That's what's going to attract men to you. That's what's going to attract people to want to learn from you. Showing that you have a secret of femininity that other women don't have. Showing you have something special that people want. That's valuable, that other women want to know, want to learn, want to figure out, that other men, they need that in their home. I need this in my life. I can't tell you how many married men and baby daddies, they fine, they straight, but they still want to come at me just because they know it's half these men out here ain't necessarily looking to cheat, or they're not necessarily looking for a side chick. They just can't resist how valuable I am as a woman. And they want me in their life because they know that they can't get what I have to offer from the women that they know. Most you women, you don't have that power to make a man who's perfectly happy, perfectly satisfied, and who's not a cheater desire you over the woman he loves, because you're not living in your feminine principle. And a lot of you women, the reason you're not is because you can't wield the power. You can't be objectified. You can't deal with having that influence over men. It would overwhelm you. You can't deal with the envy of other women. It would overwhelm you. But I'm letting those of you who are listening stay away from these women who don't value being beautiful over being manly or masculine. And stay away from anyone claiming to have access to a millionaire or $1 million. Stay away from these people. Most of your celebrities and your artists, the people who you're fans of, most of them don't have $1 million in their bank account. They got a Birkin bag in their music video. They got a Benz or a Mercedes in their music video. They have a mansion in their music video. They don't have $1 million. Some of them may have $1 million home that they live in, but if they sold that $1 million home, they would have a percentage of it, and they'd be homeless and would have to figure out where to live and where to pay bills, just like the rest of us. So stop letting people lie to you about what they have and their quality of life. A lot of these people, they don't have $1 million. They have assets that they're sitting on, that if they sold, they wouldn't have anything but money, and they don't have the intelligence to know how to budget it like you and I do to live a healthy lifestyle with little to no income, comparably. So I need real people to stop listening to. And here's another thing. Don't think that these black celebrities haven't sold their soul. None of these black celebrities who you know are more talented than the people who you grew up with, who are rappers and singers and dancers. And I can guarantee you that, except maybe Michael Jackson, who was the archangel incarnate, by the way. So that's why he was talented. Michael Jackson was actually Michael the Archangel incarnate on earth. But I'm pretty sure some of you recognized that. But no celebrity is more talented than the people you grew up with, who are probably struggling to get their dance careers or their music careers or their singing or their acting, off the ground, or their artwork. No famous artist is more talented than the artist that you know at these galleries that you've been to. And you guys know that. So stop kidding yourself about celebrity and what it means to be a celebrity. These people are spokesperson for Satan, and they are there to keep this Truman Show that we're all watching and a part of going, to make you believe that there's something else to strive for other than being happy with one spouse who loves you and the children that you have, or being happy with your family, with your pets, and being happy single until you find someone who loves you properly. And here comes my last point. When it comes to relationship advice and dating advice, I have to say this. Don't listen to anybody black. Ever, when it comes to relationship advice and dating advice, unless you're listening to a black man exposing how inferior black men are and exposing the games and the mind games and the sex games that black men play with black women to keep us from moving on to a superior race where the men are masculine and not castrated, or the mind games that mostly, white men don't really have to play mind games. They have enough wealth to marry a woman and love her. But again, don't listen to anybody black. Don't listen to these black women who are trying to act like they have the same femininity that white women have when they don't. They didn't learn properly. They weren't groomed. They're trying to regurgitate things that they themselves are not embodying, have not embodied, didn't learn properly. So when it comes to relationship advice, this is my advice. Don't listen to anybody black. Don't listen to no damn nigga. Don't listen to no black American up there with a phone and a camera and a mic trying to tell you this and tell you that. Listen to black people telling you their story, telling you their experiences, and warning you so it doesn't happen to you. But don't ever listen to a black person getting up there claiming to be a relationship guidance counselor. I don't care if it's a pastor, this, that. Because one, if their advice is actually good, it's probably something you can read in the Bible, which means you just need to read the Bible or maybe go to church a little bit more to get that scriptural inspiration on how to live better. No black person can tell you anything that's better than in the Bible unless they can tell you their personal experiences to help you. Number one. Number two, if their advice is good, it probably comes from the Bible, or they probably don't really care about you. They probably have good advice because they've learned what sells. It doesn't mean that they are, not intelligent. It doesn't mean that they didn't come up with the advice themselves. What I'm saying is they're more about sales than they are about necessarily helping. So remember, it's great to support a black-owned business. So if you want to go support one of these niggas who ain't got shit to offer just because they're a black-owned business and cool. Buy their little book. Subscribe to their little podcast. Pay them $25 to chat with them, or some bullshit. But realize they don't have anything to offer you. They read a book. They probably rewrote that same book in their own words and are selling it now to start a business. You know what I'm saying? They're probably sleeping with a white person. If they have any level of success, they're probably fucking a white person. You know what I'm saying? And they probably just don't really care. They're probably just a black American trying to make sales off of what they think will make sales. But again, if it's good advice, it probably works for white people or works for them. Probably doesn't work for a black woman who's single for no other reason other than the fact that she's not white. It's probably not going to work, for a lot of black Americans who are mostly single parents with little to no resources other than their family, who are put in that single parent pool of having to fuck each other because people without kids, we get sick of being toyed around by single parents who are just in it for sex. So this is my advice. Don't listen to no nigga about nothing when it comes to dating, because black people are in fact inferior and are still thinking, acting, and breeding like slaves in America. Listen to what the Bible says. Listen to people speaking from their experiences. I do like Derek Jackson. I do like Judge Lynn Toller. These are African Americans who I feel like have great brands, have great channels, give good advice. But my point is, remember, a lot of these things are not going to work if you're a black woman. Because the problem is you're a black woman and black men hate black women. And that's a spiritual thing that none of these relationship counselors are going to be able to address on a spiritual level. The fact that America is a factory for black men and white women to breed. And none of these relationship counselors can help a black woman who's single because she's not white. And she's not wearing weave to look white. That's why you're single, sis. Because you have worth. and black men hate you, and white men are afraid of you. That's why you're single. Because you're black. And you have natural hair. And you're not trying to look like a white girl. And you're not going to share a black man. You're not going to sleep with a black man who already has a baby mama or two. You're not going to sleep with a man who's already married because he just wants to have a sex on the side, you know, to get away with it. You're single because you're black, and black men don't like you. They want a white girl to validate his inferiority. So what none of these relationship counselors and gurus will tell you is that if you're a black woman, there are no options for you other than going somewhere where only black women are valued, finding a man who was raised to mate with the women of his race because he loves his God. That's your option. And there are no black men in America available for black women who love Christ. All these men, all these black men in America, they already have children by a good-for-nothing woman that tried to trap him with a baby or that he didn't want. So again, none of these relationship guidance counselors will tell you the spiritual reason why you are not married and why you can't find someone compatible with you. So that's why I say don't listen. Don't listen to blacks. You know, the best relationship advice you will ever get is from the Bible. And when I say that, a lot of you black women need to read about the black women in the Bible who survived their circumstances when they didn't have a man. Look at the things that God did for the prostitutes, for Hagar, for Tamar, for Ruth, for, you know, the prophet Obadiah was ordered to marry a prostitute. So all throughout the Bible, the wives are being cheated on and mistreated and disrespected while the prostitutes are being favored by God. If you bother to read it instead of listen to these male pastors lying to you women about what sacred femininity is. Because the worst position that any woman could be in America is married right now to one of these good-for-nothing men who has you trapped, ties you up in divorce settlements, wants a prenup so you're not getting nothing when he does cheat on you and put you through hell. And that's what I'm realizing. You know, black women, because you got to understand something, sisters. The black men who loved and married black women are dying. The black men who loved and married and protected and provided for black women and who had black families, they're dying. Those men are in their 80s right now. So I can guarantee you in America right now, 78% of American couples is a black man with a white woman. Or a brown man with a white woman. I can guarantee that. I can guarantee that. Hands down. Hands down. Because that's who's getting married. It's black and brown men actively, intentionally marrying the first white woman that they can get without a problem. So that's what no relationship guru is going to tell you. He's not going to tell you that everyone, the world hates black women and no one wants to marry us. So stop listening to black people trying to make money off of you. Stop listening to, these church people telling you lies about the morality in the Bible, when all throughout the Bible, God is favoring and giving blessings to prostitutes and whores and allowing the wives to get cheated on and abused. Yeah. Stop listening to these pastors about love and relationships. At the end of the day, if you're single, Nobody can tell you anything because they aren't single. They don't have to wake up every day and figure it out every single day with no help. You do. They don't have to wake up and look for resources and look for help and look for love and wake up to no phone calls. No one loves you. No one's offering you anything. No one's checking on you. You have to wake up and deal with that. So don't be stupid and listen to people who never have and never will have to live your lifestyle, but are trying to charge you and convince you that they have something to offer you. Nobody trying to make a living off of relationship advice has anything to offer. The only people you should listen to are people who are getting up there, revealing their painful, traumatic experiences with rape, abuse, drugs, failed marriage, being cheated on. That's who you listen to. No one trying to charge you or tell you or claim to be an expert, but men and women getting up there and basically telling you their story and how they overcame it, because they did overcome it. You know how I know? They're not dead. They're still alive and they still have enough breath to tell you how they overcome being raped, getting pregnant by a good-for-nothing man who may have ghosted you, how they dealt with being used for sex because they were so beautiful that the only people who came at them were thirsty men who just wanted sex, who just wanted to cheat on their unattractive wife or their baby mama who was pregnant, or their woman who's not giving them any because they have a habit of cheating. You know, listen to women like me who can tell you what it's really like to actually be a beautiful, high-value woman. I'm glamorous and I make it look glamorous, but it's not. It is pure hell. Average people find other average people and it's easy. When you have something to offer, your love life is hell. Because no one's attractive enough to be with you. And the men that are players who will put you through hell. When you're a beautiful woman, the best thing you can do is find one of these ugly dudes out here who knows how to love and isn't thirsty for a sex toy model. You know, someone out here who can see beyond your beauty, because most humans cannot see past beauty. They can't see past something that arouses them and stimulates them. That's what most of you women will without power, without beauty, without femininity. A lot of you women, you don't get it. A lot of you women, you're already married, you all this, that, and you don't really understand feminine power because you've never had to survive. You've always had somebody there to do something for you. And frankly, a lot of you don't deserve it. You know, you don't deserve it. So, well, that's my rant. It is daylight out now. Listen, learn, like, subscribe. You know, my Cash App is in the description, you know, Cash App, PayPal, all of that. But it's a new year. We're still in January. We're barely in the new year. Let's make it count. Let's make a difference. Witches, mages, brides of Christ, like, let's actually make a difference, make it count by unplugging from the Satanism, you know, unplugging from all this news and media and entertainment and all these conversations that are being had that have nothing to do with living life, worshiping God, honoring nature, you know, and staying spiritual, you know, against all odds. All right. Peace and love.